So for the most part, Peach and I generally agree when it comes to films. I like to think we have similar tastes, but there are times that we wholeheartedly disagree. You know, it's to the point like sometimes I can't believe it when this man likes a movie and it's cuck, or like I would imagine it's the same vice versa.
I always know when this guy's got a problem with a movie. Matthew has certain physical cues that he dispenses within a cinema when he doesn't like a film. There's a lot of sucking, you know, he starts sighing a lot. Okay. And one of his biggest things is that he either starts pulling his legs towards himself, or he tries to sort of make himself as comfortable on the cinema seat as possible. And that's when I know, okay, now we've lost this.
They've lost me. Yeah. I wear my emotions on my face. You will know if I think a movie is cuck or not. And you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, BlacKkLansman is a cuckstick. Hey, I'm Matt.
And I'm Peach.
And welcome to that movie review.
Also known as TMR. Spike Lee, never a man to shy away from racism or the black identity, delves right into it with his latest film, BlacKkLansman. A movie based on the life of Ron Stallworth, a black cop who back in the 1970s managed to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan.
Lee is a man not just trapped in the machinations of the American political system and what it's done to him, but he's also a man that is trapped in the 90s style of filmmaking. Lee, it seems, cannot let go.
With BlacKkLansman, it's quite obvious what he's trying to blatantly shout at his audience. Things haven't changed much for African American society, and Lee uses this movie to highlight the fact that this segment of the American society is still beset by a lot of the same hurdles.
Yeah, PJ, that is befuck. Thanks to Lee's outdated approach, there are a number of issues with this film. The main one being the tone. This film, like some of the socio-political issues that it addresses, suffers from an identity crisis, in my opinion.
The film starts off with some quoted slang, and this creates the impression that it might be comedic. But as it plays out, it becomes quite apparent that Lee is very serious about his subject matter.
There's a certain spark missing in this movie. Aside from the tonal imbalance, this movie fails to engage its audience and thus to fully engross them. Believe me when I tell you this film is fucking boring, my bro. And it achieves this lack of interest by putting nothing other than full-blown stereotypes on all fronts.
My word, Matthew, it sounds to me like this film proceeded to start sacking you off, and then out of nowhere decided to jam its middle finger deep up your wall. I believe Lee has chosen to play it safe and boring by not giving us insightful characters, and I'll tell you why. I think that by making the members of the KKK completely and utterly ignorant, Lee is trying to hammer down a certain message.
Lee's reliance on old school filmmaking, seen in here mainly by his editing style, the dated score, and you know, that classic track and shot of his. None of that does anything to help BlacKkLansman along. It only hampers an already jaded movie.
Yes, yeah, I tell you, Matthew, the only thing jaded here is your all bell.
Oh wow, yeah, another whole joke, PJ. Very original.
Lee, like the subject matter he addresses, seems stuck, and the style in which he has shot this film seems to mimic that. Dare I say that BlacKkLansman is a movie not just dealing with a segment of American history, but with the very person who is making or who has made this movie.
Equal billing goes to John David Washington and Adam Driver. As Ron Stallworth, John David is the brains behind the operations, while Driver's Flip Zimmerman is the cop that has to go undercover and convince the KKK that he is as bigoted as they are. Let me just go on the record and say, I'm really not a big fan of John David Washington. That's Denzel Washington's laaitie, by the way. Yeah, he's a far cry from his dopey, my bro. I think he's a cuck actor. I'm sorry, plain and simple. I hated him in Ballers. and I fucking hated him in here as well. It's like one of those actors that you can see is acting, man. Like, I think he just lays it on way too thick.
As David Duke, the Grand Wizard of the KKK, Topher Grace is bland yet interesting. And as one of the key members who takes a shine to Driver's character, Ryan Eggold is fantastic. He was just.
Is that
Eggold was one of the glasses, man. Was always.
Yes, he was. You know, he looked like very quickly. We look at Matthew Fox.
Oh. I was going to say he looks a bit like Robert Downey Jr. without any hair.
Oh, he could, in a way. You know Matthew Fox?
I know exactly Matthew
Yeah.
Fox. I think we feel pussy now. As Ron's love interest, Laura Harriet of Spider-Man's Homecoming is an absolute delight.
Yeah, out of the cast, I think the best thing to come out of it is the fact, and it's a cameo role by none other than Alec Baldwin. That was the best part of the movie for me.
We all love Alec Baldwin, but I mean, you know, I fucking, you'll say him up or I'll take his wall, you know what I mean? That's how much I love
Anything for the
Alec
Baldwin brothers.
No, I'm sorry, anything for Alec Baldwin.
Okay.
The rest of anything go crepe or pal. Stephen Baldwin had his day.
Stephen Baldwin's best film is Biodome, and that's saying a lot. Nah. Usual Suspects. I think it might, not his best film, but the best film that he was in.
Yeah. He was also in The Posse. Never mind. But yeah, but I mean...
Hey, I tell you, Daniel Baldwin, that man was the cat back in the day, maybe.
Yeah,
but he was never as big as Alec, though.
No, he was never. Look, you're not talking. No.
Look, he played in the Reindeer Games with Cindy Crawford.
That's William Baldwin.
William Baldwin.
And it's not Reindeer Games.
It's Fair Game. Reindeer Games is Ben Affleck. Yeah.
Charlize Theron.
Same night thing.
No, it's not Unite.
It's both sticker with just porn scenes in. So
it's very average porn scenes. In conclusion, Spike Lee is commenting on American society and how it often uses film to racially determine a mindset. Movies often inform our opinions, and I think with BlacKkKlansman, Lee's trying to show how film can be used and how insidious it can actually be in informing our opinions of other races. Look, its delivery might not be the best, and I think this is why Uncle over here is so upset. But it's still a message that's very important, and it's nothing new, but it's something that we need to be reminded of every now and then. And for that reason, I'm going to give BlacKkKlansman 7 out of 10.
I'm going to go ahead and give this cuckstick 5 out of 10. There's very few things that I liked about this film. Very little, let me say. Adam Driver was one of them. I mean, Adam Driver is gevaarlijk. Loved him in Silence, and I mean, come at the man's Kyle Ren.
He's a good actor.
Good actor. Bear in mind, I'm not like disregarding what happened during the civil rights movement and you know the what the Black Panthers achieved and you know the general fight for equal rights for black folk in America. I'm not disregarding that. What I am disregarding is the way Spike Lee chose to portray these events in his film. It played off like a comedy at times, and then he tried to be serious, and then the way that he chose to bookend the movie, it just clashed completely with what the entire film was about. I don't think he knew what he wanted to do with this film. I believe he didn't take the subject matter serious enough. 5 out of 10 is the best I can do. This cuck is lucky I don't give it 4. It was cuck boring. It was cuck long, and it was like, it just gets cucker as it goes along. It doesn't get any better, maybe. It's, really skip this one, man. So I'd rather go watch The Nun or some cuck. So that's it this week for that movie review. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Don't be so, man.